I have joining me on the news at 7 to discuss the Great Green Wall Day, the Director General, CEO, National Agency for the Great Green Wall, Dr. Yusuf Maina-Bukar. Thanks for joining us. He joins us from Abuja studio.
Thank you very much for
having me. Whilst this has been ongoing since 2014, I'm sure some Nigerians are just hearing about this for the first time and would like to know about the initiative in Africa and what it entails as far as Nigeria is concerned.
Thank you very much once again. The wall extends from Djibouti to Senegal, and with each and every country contributing its own path. In Nigeria, it stretches from Sokoto to Borno State, including Bauchi, Gombe, and Adamawa State. Every year, we carry out our plantation in the form of shelter belt, woodlots, orchards, social forestry, institutional plantation, restoration of degraded forest lands, and so many others. By so doing, we are able to reverse or revert what was lost as a result of overgrazing and other anthropogenic activities. Yeah.
All that reports of the First Lady and the Vice President planting trees there at the villa. How significant was this particular event?
It is. It is very, very significant, an action that we appreciate, an action that we are urging other Nigerians to also emulate as such by planting each and every year to join. We're all in it together. We are planting at the frontline states to prevent houses and communities from being blown away by the elements. Likewise, when you plant in other parts of the country, you're contributing by sequestrating carbon. And we will have to appreciate the trees being the lungs of the earth. They basically give us the oxygen that we breathe, and then they take in the carbon dioxide that we emit. So that is a very significant gesture and a symbol in which we want each and every person to emulate by planting trees annually and marking up the day.
And in terms of getting everybody to emulate this particular initiative, we know that the agency recently launched I think it was a National Youth Volunteer Program. How important are the young generation, especially towards the success of this of the Great Green Wall Initiative, and what are you doing to ensure they are carried along, or they understand?
Yeah, that's right. They are full of energy, the youth, and we were told at the SAD meetings of the Conference of Parties, the Sharm el-Sheikh COP27, to choose a male and a female and their supervisor to join the maiden edition of the Great Green Wall, the Youth Caravan. We selected 2 of them, and then they went to Senegal, Mauritania, and Mali. There they saw several initiatives implemented across the Sahel, amongst which are sand dune fixation and the registering of about 8,000 youths by Senegal. And we felt when they came back, they told us about what they saw. And we felt Nigeria, with about 220 million, we ought to make use of our youths also and give them the opportunity to contribute, because individually or in the form of groups, some of them have been planting and contributing to afforestation activities around and across the country. So we working us together, I believe, will give us a boost and to show an appreciation, being them the leaders of tomorrow, if they can champion this particular activity of afforestation.
And just generally, give us an idea of, I know we're trying to reclaim, some parts of the desert. Talk to us about what we've been able to achieve, and then the impact.
The sand dune fixation. The impact it encourages people to now carry out agricultural activities in places that have been degraded. Actually, I'm glad that you answered that question. When you're talking about degraded lands, you can give 2 good examples in Nigeria. Degradation of land as a result of industrial activities, not necessarily oil-related activities, which renders the sites to be the sites basically known as the brown sites, and then degradation of lands caused by elements. When wind blows the particles of sand from Sahara Desert, hence the desertification on agricultural lands, it renders the agricultural lands unproductive. And so by building the barrier and the wall that prevents the wind from blowing and covering their crops and houses, you're helping them to feed themselves and also feed the nation.
And as we speak, in terms of this particular initiative in Africa, Nigeria sits on the presidency of the Pan-Africa Agency for the Great Green Wall, and that will be until December 2023. Is enough being done at this moment to sensitize Nigerians on the adverse effects of climate change, and that's especially drought and land degradation in the northern part of the country?
There's a department dedicated for that, actually, and we have the Department of Climate Change and the Climate Change Council and others that have been doing a significant amount of, giving in their effort at state level, at all across, the NGOs. A lot of people are involved in afforestation activities and enlightenment when regards to the impact of emerging climate change risks and its impact on all of our activities, be it agricultural, be it on our energy systems, be it on our transportation systems, be it on the economy, be it on our well-being. So a good number of people are giving in their best, actually. So we would like to also acknowledge and appreciate what they've been doing. And together, I believe we will achieve what we set out to achieve.
This particular conversation sums up why the Vice President called the Green Wall Initiative an emergency response initiative. Thank you so much, rescue operation rather. Thank you so much for talking to us. The Director General, CEO, National Agency for the Great Green Wall, Dr. Yusuf Maina-Bukar.